Hi there, back for another week. This week I'll reflect on Module 12, the questions regarding cyberbullying and internet safety. Why is, as a future educator, or as a present educator as I am, why is internet um, safety so important, and teaching the kids the right and wrongs of it? It's very important. For the most part, it's a new technology from when I grew up. So with that, there's good, and there's some side effects to it that aren't good. And as society, we adjust to those as we have with everything that's transformed in society over the years. There's always a dark element to it that needs to be explained, communicated about, and definitely through education and the way we use technology, it can be kind of sad at times on some of the negatives that come from it. Specifically, our school district has a policy where the parents and the kids sign, which it explains proper use of the internet, what they can and cannot do, and it's a contract that says if you go outside of that through posting pictures of yourself at parties or sending negative comments through other kids, cyberbullying, anything negative, there's repercussions, and there's stiff repercussions because cyberbullying it's almost it's so easy to type something up to somebody and say something good or bad. But the problem is with the bad, there's misinterpretation there. Things are hurtful, things are said or typed that normally you wouldn't say to a person face to face. It's easy to talk tough, on a keyboard without really feeling any repercussions from somebody in your face that would like to debate you on that per se. So it's just very important we know how easy that can be, but how dangerous it could be too on the other side. So just education with the technologies as far as the parameters of the use. If we use it for what it's good for, what it's used for, the purpose of it, it's great. We can learn a lot. It can also be dangerous. What were my thoughts after exploring the NetSmart website? Do I feel the training program is relevant use for all educators? Yes. It was very knowledgeable and useful. Obviously, it was relevant with today's youth, and it's relevant with an older student like myself who has kind of grown up prior to this technology movement and some of the effects, good and bad, that have come from this. So it's good that I learn with it, and then be able to understand it in the real time, so I can present it to the kids and explain to them, the pros and cons of it. The main post described in this article that I read, cyberbullying, it's easy to do. It's easy to hide behind a computer, the obvious things. And I think through the obvious, easy things, that's where people get the confidence to go ahead and do those things. There's almost no feeling that they get of doing right or wrong by doing that. So it's easy to do it, which makes it kind of scary at times, and it's not till after the fact, till there's repercussions from some of the stuff they've sent or some of the threats they've made, that they realize that I need to think a little bit more before I hit that send button. Sexual solicitation. I mean, there's innocent kids that, there's some people that believe everything they read on the internet and everything they hear. And there's innocent kids that aren't guided at home, per se, with parents, and they're not explained of some of the things that on the internet are not true. And there's predators out there, and there's things said that will lure them in, and that's the scary part of it. Kids need to be educated that, there are some creepy guys out there. There are creepy people out there that are using that to their benefit in a sick way. So kids are innocent. They don't see it that way. They just think everybody's, because they're innocent. So they feel everybody's truthful and everything's right. And unfortunately, that makes easy prey for some sick people. So they just need to be educated, constant education on what can happen. Also, there's privacy settings that are set up through the parents or through the school district that they kind of get parameters of the technology, what they can use, what they can't use, what can be blocked out, what stuff can be not accessed per se, or some personal stuff you have that you can keep, so not everybody can find out about you. So those are important to know, that there are some settings in place that we can put some boundaries up to protect your own information, protect yourself, protect others. So and that starts with parents' education. The parents, some parents are older, and the technology, if they're not doing it every day, the kid knows more than the parent. So it's important that the parents are connected with this technology as the kids are knowing it, so they can educate themselves, can kind of look for red flags, know what's out there to protect their kid. Parent involvement, teach them awareness, monitor the behavior. Check in, see what they're looking at, see what apps they're using, see if there's been any weird contact with them from outside sources. Just talk to your kids. This is no different than any other issue, whether it's drugs or, and it doesn't have to be bad per se, whether you're talking about the future plans of going to college or, eventually we got girls that eventually they're going to drive a car, but just anything you talk about, just be involved in it. No different than driving a car. We want to teach them safety. Transportation when our daughters get older is going to be vital because they're going to be more independent. They're going to need that to get to and from. But there's negatives on driving a car if we don't teach them right. If we don't tell them to put their seat buckle. If we don't tell them to watch out for other people, don't text and drive per se. So there's good and bad on everything, and computers and technology should be no different. It's just easy to go put somebody on it, let them do their thing, and not really see what's going on. So parent involvement is vital to keep our kids safe. And like I said, there's so much good that comes from this that with the right parameters in place, the right education, the explanation of the good and bad, it can be a great thing of learning and a tool that we will use for years to come. Thank you.